Hey everyone, this is Jamal. So I wanted to discuss Standing Rock, or No DAPL, the North Dakota pipeline. In the news today, multiple veterans, I think it's tens up to hundreds, are going down to Standing Rock to essentially protect the water protectors. Just for a little backstory and context, an oil company, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but an oil company wants to put a pipeline through or under the water of an indigenous tribe that owns that land. Now, technically, under legal structure, the federal government owns it. But by treaty, the land is still theirs. It's sovereign territory, their territory. And the oil company essentially is trying to run roughshod over that and ignoring the fact that it's their land, they live on that land, and it's trying to ram a pipeline through it. It's their only water source. And if that water, it's not an issue of when that water source or when that pipe breaks. I said that wrong. It's not an issue of if that pipe breaks. It's an issue of when. Because pipes break. I mean, the leaks are, they're infamous for leaking. It's so bad that they don't even recount all of them. They asked one of the guys in the oil places, and his response was, well, we don't want to burden the public with the knowledge of all these leaks. It's not a burden, dude. You're hiding it because you're trying to save your ass. So yeah, these guys are in the right. This is one of those situations where there's a right and there's wrong. And in this case, it is their land. It's theirs. Beyond this, we should have a larger conversation about oil, about the environment in general. So scientists are essentially are running around with their hair on fire, saying that their thoughts on global warming is essentially their predictions were less bad than what they're actually seeing unfold. So by 2050, even by 2100, the temperature rise could be up to 4 degrees if we just do business as usual, which it seems like we're doing. And there's certain levels of temperature that would essentially eliminate the majority of life on this planet. We need to make a choice. We need to redefine our relationship with the environment and between us. So what I mean is, right now, you have companies that are essentially distinguishing the relationship between us, our world, and our ability to essentially generate energy. And they're doing this in a way where they're accruing massive amounts of profits, while all of the health benefits or all of the health deficits, everything that is going wrong with the environment or everything else, and their part in contributing to it, they pass that on to everybody else. So essentially, they privatize the profits, but socialize the gains. We pay for the gains. We pay for the respiratory issues, for the issue of oil spills, all that stuff. That's us, the federal government, us, the people, coming out of our tax dollars to cover them on that stuff. So we should have a large conversation. Is oil what we want to do? Do we want to continue to build pipelines? And even more fundamental, that oil comes from the ground. Nobody gave the federal government that land. The federal government just took it. In general, they just said, this is our land now. If a company is buying that land and they're making profits off that land, well, those profits should go to everybody, not just that oil company. So yeah, there should be heavier taxes on it. And yeah, some of the profits should essentially flutter out into the government, either providing services or giving people cash as a saying, hey, we got oil from this particular part, so we're going to give you money to essentially balance this out. You're a part of the state. The state is essentially functioning based upon you. Well, that oil is also part of the state, and it's also part of the public trust. And the money generated from that oil, in part, should be given to the people of that area. So the oil company is still going to make their billions of dollars. But do you need to make that much? And does it need to be to the degree where you're hurting other people? No, you don't. You're just being greedy. And unfortunately, that greed allows... And look, politicians have fell in line. I mean, they're giving oil subsidies billions of dollars. The most profitable industry in the world, and they're giving them billions of dollars. That is obscene. Absolutely obscene. Um, yeah, it's not right. It's not right at all. We really need to have a whole conversation about whether or not we want to continue down a path that is so antithetical to what it takes to have a sustainable life. You can't keep this up. I mean, you can't keep this situation where it's business as usual, where the environment is essentially a second thought in pursuit of profit. It's not real, man. Money is not real. It's a legal fiction that's used to essentially give money. And capitalism is a way of essentially allowing this legal fiction to accrue with other people, giving them power. This shit is not real. We need to come up with systems that would allow people to live, and not necessarily have poverty and all those things. All those things are structured. They're part of the system in general. Life doesn't have to be this way. Those guys in North Dakota, this is about more than oil. This is also about whether or not it's fair, and whether or not we want to allow the federal government to still run roughshod over people like they've been doing for 500 years and blatantly just steal their land for profit. Is that what we want? It's also about people over profits. And so Standing Rock, stand strong, man. Well, my wife is back. It's our anniversary. So.
Hi. Oh, your hand's in the way.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. So she says hi. We have a special day planned. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I hope that made sense. Bye bye.